Welcome to the Fort Myers Beach Good Neighbor Podcast. No shade, just sunshine, drama-free, positive vibes only. Each episode, we bring you closer to the neighbors, local legends, and businesses that support the local community and make Fort Myers Beach the slice of paradise we all love. We want to send out some island love to Eric Tibbs from Edward Jones, State Insurance USA, the Tiki Pub Fort Myers Beach, and Kurt Ryder's FMB. They are the good neighbors and businesses that allow us to share the soul of our community with every listener and local stories to the positive vibe of island life. Here's to celebrating all that makes Fort Myers Beach the slice of paradise we all love. Pull up a beach chair, grab a drink, and let's meet the people who make this island feel like home. Here's your host, Cabo Jim Scheller.
Welcome, Fort Myers Beach good neighbors. Today we have good neighbor Dennis Wagaman from Realty One Group MVP and his newly formed The Pier Group, correct?
Absolutely, yes. Good morning, Jim.
Yeah, pleasure to have you on and share your story with our listeners here. So without further ado, you've made a big change recently. So let's jump right in, and why don't you share a little bit about what you're doing currently?
Sure. Thank you very much. There's a big need, a huge need actually on the island for small and mid-sized commercial redevelopment. Places like the small businesses, they need brick and mortar to work out of. And we don't have that right now. We have a lot of vacant lots that are commercial lots that need to be redeveloped. And that is really very important for our island's economy and just, quality of life on the beach as well. Visually, it's certainly going to be a lot better once we get some of these rebuilt. So that's my mission now, is to focus on getting our small and mid-sized commercial sectors rebuilt. So that's why I formed the Pier Group. This is my focus. I'm partnering with another organization called Spring Lake Capital. And we've got some nice projects already lined up that we're redeveloping at this time. And some more things in the pipeline that we're working on. So again, we're really focused on this because our vacationers, let's face it, they love our island. They keep coming back. We want to give them something nicer than, the food trucks to go and enjoy a nice meal in. Although they're great right now, I hang out at them myself. Mojo's is my favorite. I'll just say that right out loud. Awesome people there, great food. I love the avocado toast. They take great care of me. But we want to give them a building to operate out of. So that's the mission I'm on right now.
And there you go. And the dog likes that too. I like it.
That's my boy, Sonny. Yeah.
Right.
Perfect timing. Someone comes to the door to drop off a package.
Right. There you go. Well, he's watching the house. That's a good thing to have. But we do need.
That's some of my for sale signs just got delivered.
Oh, there you go. We need to get them out in the neighborhood then, right?
I've got a couple going up this afternoon. Yes.
I love it.
Thank you.
So like you mentioned, I mean, we do need a lot of those small to medium-sized businesses coming back,
Absolutely.
So why Fort Myers Beach? I mean, how long have you been here?
I've been here in this area since 2015.
Okay.
My wife and I relocated down here. We've always, like a lot of folks, we've heard this story a lot of times, want to retire down here. Just love the area, love the community, just love the whole Southwest Florida vibe, just laid back, relaxed, good people. But I've been in real estate specifically since 2019 on Fort Myers Beach and just love it. And as I guess as corny as it might sound, it's absolutely the fact. There's sun, surf, and sand all over the world, literally, right? I mean, beautiful places all over the world. And I've been fortunate to travel, a little bit in my time. But I've never been anywhere else in my life where the people are just so amazing. And I mean that from my heart. I just met some of the nicest people, most down-to-earth people ever on Fort Myers Beach. And it's just so refreshing. It's just a refreshing lifestyle. If somebody's walking across the street down here, we don't honk horns and, wave at everybody with the wrong finger, right?
Yeah.
We just kind of slow down, relax, let them pass comfortably, and then we go on our way, We sort of hold doors open for each other, say please and thank you. We sort of know how to behave. And that's just a refreshing way to live. And I just love it. Just love it.
It's a different lifestyle. It's a much calmer, and friendlier. And I appreciate like what you're trying to do, because we do need a lot of those businesses to create that sense of community,
No,
and,
absolutely.
and to
Absolutely.
bring.
And there's a lot of great, smart, hardworking, dedicated business owners on the island also. They're here for business. Let's face it, we're not here for the practice. Okay. But they choose to dedicate themselves and be committed to what they're doing. And they care about the island. Whenever, there's a need, people just rally. It's like a given. It's a second nature. No one has to really think about it. It just sort of happens. Okay.
Absolutely.
So those are some of the things that I just find so appealing and so wonderful about the island.
Well, yeah, and to anybody else, having a business, working on the island, living the island sounds like a dream. But we've dealt with a lot of storms, a lot of issues, personally and professionally. What have you gone through to get where you are today?
Tremendous learning curve. The island is a unique product, if you will, in the big picture, up at the headline banner of real estate. Okay. We're a very unique market. We're a micro market. We do not behave like other traditional organic neighborhood type markets, even as close as right across in the mainland, in Fort Myers, Cape Coral, these other markets, completely different behaviors. The overwhelming majority of property on the island is owned by absentee owners. It's owned by someone who has their second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh vacation home. A lot of properties are owned by investors. A lot of properties are owned by groups of investors. So there's a completely different dynamic down here. So what does that mean? That means people are, generally speaking, again, we're not talking about the wonderful residents and the people who live here. That's a different set of circumstances there. But for the other part that drives the majority of our business and our activity on the island being absentee owners, that means they're buying and selling their properties using the mindset of discretionary money or investment capital. This isn't their primary residence, where you can have completely different drivers making our decisions. Okay. So what else does that mean? That means that properties on the island are not as subject to the swings in the market as they are when we're talking about a generic neighborhood, or excuse me, a organic neighborhood or a organic marketplace. Again, completely different drivers making different decisions based on different parameters. So that's what we need to understand about the island. Price points are different on the beach. We look at rate of appreciation calculated into ROI when we're looking at an investment opportunity. And we're also looking at, what can the highest and best use be of a property on the island relative to the current zoning, relative to how the property needs to be situated on the lot that we're developing. So there's a lot of drivers, a lot of decision-making points that go into this level of the market that, isn't prevalent in the more residential area.
Absolutely. And, kind of along those same lines, do you see certain things, I guess sensing trending and obviously changing, right?
Oh, golly. How much time do we have? Okay. Obviously a lot of things are changing. Unfortunately, and certainly not how any of us would have ever wanted it to happen. But the island, we need to kind of redevelop. We need to regroup. We can't forget our past, can't forget our history. But we need to look forward. We need to look forward. That means look forward with controlled, managed, and reasonable growth. Not 100-story skyscrapers on the golf front. Nobody wants to see that. Our focus also in our redevelopment strategy is to do things that are complementary to the community, to do things that are within the scope of zoning with the community, to be an asset complement to the community. I love the island. So do the folks I'm working with. They were here before Ian because they saw an opportunity and they love the beach as well. So we're looking to do things in a manner that's complementary to the beach, not conflicting with the vibe of Fort Myers Beach. The thing that I believe needs to be shared is that the current comp plan in the town, was written and implemented before the current building codes were written. So the current building codes require, of course, everything to be elevated: living space, air conditioned, heated space. We can't have any again, generally speaking, there's exceptions, there's things here and there, but I'm talking just generally speaking. When we're talking concepts, design, and development, there you can't have any living space on the ground floor. So everything needs to be elevated. However, the comp plan has not yet been adjusted to compensate for this. The original comp plan didn't contemplate having a property elevated. So now we're taking away the ground level occupancy, but there's been nothing added up top to compensate for that.
Yep.
So now there's a squeeze here because, obviously, things need to make financial sense or nothing's going to happen. Okay. That doesn't mean somebody needs to make a gazillion dollars off of each and every deal. Of course not. It has to be reasonable. But everything needs to be done within reason to adjust and recognize the things that need to be adjusted to make deals work and get things rolling here for us. And the town, to their credit, has been very reasonable as well, I believe, in what they're permitting and what they're approving. Overall, I think they've been very reasonable with that for our project, for example, and some other projects that we have coming.
Yeah, and things are going to change. Unfortunately, we're in that period where things are going to evolve, things are going to change, but we do want to not lose that sense of community of what made Fort Myers Beach very special to a lot of people and families. Yep.
No, absolutely. I think Dan Aller said it the best. The island's going to stay the same. The people are going to stay the same. The only thing that's going to change are the buildings. So give him credit where credit's due.
That's it. Focus on the positive. That's it. Yep.
And we're seeing tourism. Tourism is, the folks are still coming back, as we know. I mean, I'll never forget this back. Now, this was during COVID. We were shut down for a little while. And after we reopened, I was in traffic on Estero Boulevard in July. And I was sitting there, I have an SUV, so I got a big, armrest there. I have my laptop up. When I'm in traffic, I'm working. And all of a sudden it struck me, I'm in a traffic jam. Right. Right. I've never felt so good to be in a traffic jam as to when I was in that one post-COVID, or during COVID here, rather. It's the same feeling now. People are coming back. We're in traffic jams. Thank goodness. And let's face it, we're an island in a Gulf, a beautiful island and beautiful part of the world. Yeah, there's going to be traffic. People going to kind of want to come and hang out with us, right? So, we're going to have some traffic. We just have to do the best we can with it. And just, that's life here.
Yep. And welcome them and let them enjoy the paradise that we appreciate year round. So
exactly.
Now, I know you do a lot with the community because I see you out and about quite a bit. Is there anything that you're involved with currently as far as maybe giving back to the community or helping the community?
Well, there was a recently formed alliance called What's Up FMB. And I was asked to join the board there. And the mission of What's Up FMB is to support, showcase, feature local small businesses by holding events. There was the kickoff one was the Mullet Madness, which was just a scream. And I give kudos to Dawn Miller. This was Dawn's brainchild, and she's a very focused, very committed, very energetic, and very savvy person. She's very sharp. And so this was her brainchild, and she got everything formed rather. And it's growing very nicely. What's Up FMB. So keep your eyes out for that. There's going to be a lot of events coming. The Lantern Festival that was just held in November was amazing. It's just beautiful. So we're talking about, maybe some firework events coming up, maybe 4th of July that we're going to be involved in. Keep your ears open for that. All the businesses around town, you're welcome and invited, and please come and join us at What's Up FMB. We're going to be showcasing local businesses through events and through a lot of, we have a great website that was just launched, as well as an amazing website. We have social media presence. So, like and follow us, spread the word. It's great for the island. And we're doing this like in concert with and in complement with the Chamber of Commerce as well. We're working closely with the Chamber. We're all in this together. There's, just ways that we can support everyone. And this is a manner that we saw fit to do that.
I love it. Just giving people another reason to come to the beach and visit the beach. And there's good things happening
Absolutely.
here. And
Absolutely.
There's more than just the beach. There's other things going on. But
absolutely,
I love it. She's done a great job with that. So kudos to her on that. So you mentioned you were here since what, 2015? Where are you from originally?
Originally from a little town in Pennsylvania named Manchester, Pennsylvania.
Wow.
Very small town. We got our first traffic light in 1977. That was
interesting.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, a red light on the square in our small town. And it was,
and then
yeah,
it changed after that, right?
A little bit. Yeah. Well, I think there's three traffic lights.
Well, there you go. It's a big city now, metropolis. There we go.
It was a great way to grow up out in the rural countryside. I grew up in farming areas, and, I lived that growing up lifestyle where, you left in the morning with your friends and went and ran around all day. And as long as you're home before the street lights came on, mom and dad were good with that. And
they didn't know where you were all day, right?
Exactly. But, everybody knew each other. We were playing ball or running around in the woods, hiking or lifting up rocks in the creek, trying to catch salamanders. It was
absolutely
fun. Great.
Yep. The good old days, right? Absolutely. So speaking about that, I know you're a very, very busy man. You got a lot on your plate currently, but when you do get a moment of free time, what do you enjoy doing outside of work?
Just hanging out with my wife, doing things with my wife, traveling around a little bit. We love the little getaway weekends to, somewhere local or a quick plane ride away. We enjoy going to small, charming, quaint towns and, just relaxing there, kind of like this Fort Myers Beach, maybe up in the mountains, with a small town where people are hanging out, enjoying life together. We've got a few places that we've identified that we really enjoy. One is up in Georgia called Ella J, Georgia. Nice. And that's just a really cool, quaint, small town up in the mountains of North Georgia. Places like that.
Very good. Very good. So without giving away all your secrets, is there something you would recommend people coming to visit Fort Myers Beach that they get out and do or get out and see or visit?
Where to begin with that one too? How much time do you have? I love the boat tours. I like the boat tours, so you can get out and really see the beauty of this island from the water and all the places where, we don't get an opportunity to see, obviously, from the land as we're driving up and down Estero Boulevard. I think that's something that people really need to experience, and nothing beats. I mean, how many times have we all been in a boat and in the wake we see dolphins playing in the boat wake, right? Yep. Does that ever get old?
Never.
Of course not. So go take a boat ride, play with some dolphins, forget about whatever it is that might be troubling you for a little while. Enjoy the beauty of the water. It relaxes our soul, right? Yep. And it's just an experience that it's just hard to beat. It's hard to beat. And then, you've got to get out and go to some of the local spots and rub elbows with some of the local folks and just, hang out with some people and have a great conversation with someone who you've never met before, but you walk away friends, that type of experience. I also love the, up at Bowditch Point, the beach up there. Great spot for sunsets. Over Sanibel, it's just a perfect spot for that, in my opinion. Kind of like a little secret spot that not everyone really goes and hangs out at, which mystifies me because I think it's awesome up there.
Right.
So those are some things I would encourage folks to do. Check out, we've got some awesome restaurants in this area too. I mean, just for foodies, it's great. Of course, you have the whale that came back. Anything they make there is fantastic. They really have a high level of quality on everything they do there. So it doesn't surprise me their food's just, a home run. We have Doc Ford's. Doc Ford's has an amazing menu, amazing foods there. Pardon me, Dixie Fish House. Okay. I can go on and on. Those are some of the top spots that come to mind of, you must go here type places. And just relax and enjoy life a little bit.
That's what it's all about down here. So getting back to business, is there one thing that you wish our listeners knew about what you're doing currently with the peer group that maybe they're not too aware of?
Just, golly, good question. Be aware of, I guess, if I could share anything, and this is maybe a little delicate, but we have to find a balance on the island. We have to find a balance. As I shared with you, as I shared with you a bit earlier, redeveloping the island is challenging for a number of different reasons. As I mentioned, the height issues. Okay, we hear a lot of people, and sometimes rightfully so, and sometimes this is a good argument, a good discussion, a good debate to have about height issues. Sometimes, however, it's necessary in today's market for a new development to be a certain minimum height before it makes any financial sense to even do the project.
Yeah.
So we can either decide to continue looking at vacant parcels and some rubble here and there and overgrown weeds and things like that, which has its place in some areas. Or we can flex a little bit, we can adjust a little bit, and just find that middle ground. Let's face it, the reality is most of the time the right answer lies in the middle. Okay, we can't have any extreme thinking on one end or the other, or nothing will ever work. We all know that. So let's just kind of work towards the middle, and what can we do where we're all good, where we're all happy. Okay, where we can find agreement. If there's one message I could put out there, it's that. Let's just figure it out together, and let's not take the extremes on one side or the other.
I love it. I love it. A little compromise, positive vibes. It's what it's all about.
Absolutely.
How would our listeners go about contacting you if they had questions, wanted to buy you a drink down by the beach?
Sure, absolutely. My phone number is 239-940-7749. Can reach me there anytime. Text me.
Very good.
Anytime I can help anybody, even if it's just a question. It doesn't have to be a deal, right?
That's
even if it's just a question I can help you with, don't hesitate. I don't know it all, but I'm happy to share with you what I do know and help you any way I can.
Very good. Very good. Dennis, it's been a pleasure getting to know you. Thank you for being such a good neighbor, and we're going to see you out at the beach here soon.
Absolutely. See you, Jim. Bye, everybody.
Thanks for tuning in to the Fort Myers Beach Good Neighbor podcast. If you loved what you heard, share it with a friend and keep the good vibes going. Until next time, remember to cabo until you wabo and keep being a good neighbor. Also, to nominate your favorite neighbors, local legends, heroes, or local businesses to be on the show. Go to FMBGN-BIZ-The. That's FMBGoodNeighbor.com or call 239-42-74100. We want to send out some island love to Eric Tibbs from Edward Jones, State Insurance USA, the Tiki Pub Fort Myers Beach, and Kurt Ryder's FMB. They are the good neighbors and businesses that allow us to share the soul of our community with every listener, from local stories to the positive vibe of island life. Here's to celebrating all that makes Fort Myers Beach